Good evening, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gavra Racing. We're live for the Weekend League Tier 1 here at Singapore at Marina Bay, and this is going to be a fascinating qualifying session. I'm Jack TM53, your commentator, as always, for the Weekend League, and I'm very excited for this one. Singapore, a very technical challenge, of course, a track made up of 23 corners, and the drivers will have to navigate in qualifying in intermediate weather conditions. The track conditions are somewhere between intermediates and dries at the moment, not quite close enough for the dry tyres, but the drivers will be out trying to get used to the compounds, trying to get the tyres up into the right operating window. It's going to be difficult for them, but that's the challenge that they've got to face, and I'm sure that everyone is going to have a fun time watching the event, because this will prove to be just like the earlier race in Weekend League Tier 2. I'm sure this one will be just as exciting. Number of cars already out on their sighting laps currently. First driver who's going to come across the line will be Il Joshi second, or Il Joshi Il, I'm not sure 100% on how to pronounce that name, but let's ride on board with Joshi. He's in 11th place at the moment. Hopefully the race director will cut over to Joshi, because he's coming round the final corner. I say that, and Joshi spins before he gets to the first corner. So hopefully we can go to Psycho, who's next on track. So he's coming through turn 22 and 23 now, riding on board. Let's see how Psycho does in these wet weather conditions as he approaches turn 1. Up to 7th gear, 175 miles an hour. Clips the inside curve, kind of rides the curve a little bit, but gets away with it. Runs over the curve again through turn 3 and turn 4. Ooh, a little bit of snap oversteer, but Psycho gathers that up nicely. On the approach to turn 5, 4th gear, very hesitant on the throttle. Only now does he get on the full 100% completion on the throttle, and it's completely flat all the way through here in the intermediate conditions. On the brakes into turn 7, a good overtaking spot on this track. I'm sure drivers will be looking for some lunges, and then Psycho delicately brings the car down to 3rd gear in turn 8. Has to manage his throttle a little bit more conservatively through turn 9, which he's done quite nicely. Uses 3rd gear, a little bit of a wobble, but no problems there. And then into the old Singapore sling. 3rd gear once more for Psycho, and then on the brakes down into 2nd. This has been nice so far from Psycho. Just a couple of little slides, but to be expected, of course, in these wet weather conditions. Using 3rd gear, decided to use the lower gears and short shifts to 4th and 5th for Psycho. The Haas driver putting in a decent effort so far. Turn 14 can be difficult in wet weather conditions with the curbs, but Psycho's avoided the worst of the problems there. Into 2nd for turn number 16 and 17, and he's going to come under the bridge shortly. A little tight corner, this one can be difficult to get right, but Psycho again navigates it nicely. A little bit more traction underneath the tunnel there. Due to the dry, obviously it's a little bit drier under the tunnel compared to the rest of the track. And then Psycho's just got 2 more corners, turn 22 and 23. See how he gets on through here. Joshi sets his first lap, but Psycho's going to be quicker. And he is. It's a 52.3 for Psycho. Good effort. The man who won last week after a fantastic scrap with Zexify. He won the race. He got pole position as well. Did the Haas driver. So let's see how he gets on in the rest of the session. A couple of other drivers setting laps on. JDM11. He has set a lap there, and Miles goes quicker in the Alpine. That is a good effort from Miles. Had a bit of a tricky time, did Miles, last time out at Mexico in the evaluation race. But that's a very good start for the Alpine driver. Maybe he might be one of those wet weather specialists. We'll soon see. And as I say that, Pushadino now goes into provisional pole, but Russell Pippin takes that back. The top 5 drivers separated by 6/10 around this circuit. That's fantastic in these very tricky conditions. Whilst everyone else is set, I just want to run through all 19 drivers who are registered to take part in the championship are here tonight, which is good. So we've got in the Alfa Romeos, we have JDM11, who's currently 7th. And also you have our Peter, as there's a McLaren backwards. I think it's Gio. Yeah, he's gone round at turn 23. But JDM 11 and our Peter 13 are the Alfa Romeo drivers. In the AlphaTauris, you have Jolt J7 as Shortbread goes faster than anybody by 1.2 seconds in the Mercedes. Great effort from him. The two-time champion putting his mark down already. But Jolt J is in the AlphaTauri, and the other one is Billy Misu 31, who's yet to set a lap time. In the Alpine, you've got Jay Evans 11, who's on an outlap currently in that striking blue and pink helmet that he's got there. And as well as that, Miles M, who's briefly at the top of the standings, very briefly for a few moments. Aston Martin have got Fex, JIT87, and of course they have Gianmarco, but that is John Wick, who's in 18th at the moment, going around on a lap. Ferrari, they've got Stanchu and Natalie 99 and Fake Nuts. Haas has got Russell Biffin and Seiko. SM. You have in the McLarens the Doctor V1 and Gio, who we just saw facing backwards before. Mercedes, they have tonight Jackie on Franson and Shortbread. In the Red Bull, we have Pushadino 1420 and Paranelli. And then lastly, the only Williams driver on the grid, Joshi, who is in 9th at the moment. There's an Alpine backwards I just spotted then. I think that was Jay Evans, it was. As Miles goes up to 2nd. And John Wick's up to 3rd, rather. So that's a good effort from John. But let's look at that gap. Shortbread currently P1, 150.7. He is 9 tenths ahead of Miles in the Alpine. John Wick 3rd. Russell Biffin, Pushadino are in the pits at the moment. Psycho's going. He's on a lap currently. I think he's in 6th at the moment. The pole position man. Got 2 pole positions last season. Did Psycho when he was in McLaren. Back when he was known as Pirshu. Can he do make any improvements, or will he bolt into the pits? We'll soon find out. He is carrying on with this lap. Looks like it could be an improvement, depending on how these next 2 corners go. And he does. He gets himself up into 2nd of a 151.3. So Psycho, number 2 on the car there in the Haas. He is currently on the front row. 6 tenths off the back of Shortbread, but there is still plenty of time in this session. And of course, changing conditions all the time. There is a drier line now appearing on the track at the moment. So it'll come down to who wants to maybe risk it towards the end of the session if they decide to be brave enough. Whether the track be dry enough as well is another matter. Just running up against the wall there, nearly hitting the wall, got away with that. Pushadino just coming out of the pits at the moment. I'm just having a little scan through on the track, see where everyone is. JDM on a outlap in the Alpha. Oh, Peter on an outlap. No one currently on a lap. I don't know about Psycho if he's carried on. I don't think he has. A couple of drivers. John Wick's just got into the pits as we say that. Miles out on circuit. He is 2 tenths up. He hasn't got much ERS available, but that might not matter too much for the Alpine. Because in the wet conditions, the hot lap can cause more troubles than it's worth. Some drivers prefer to have it on the medium setting, just to manage the wheel spin. But Miles doing a good effort so far. It's a good showing in the intermediate conditions. Still, at the moment, 6 other drivers who are yet to set a lap time. About 8 minutes, just less than 8 minutes to go. Miles is on a quicker lap time here. This is impressive. The man who's in 3rd currently, 5 tenths up on this lap. Yellow flag, his teammate has gone into the wall actually. It's Jay Evans. A little bit of a spin. But Miles is on a very good lap here. Could get into the 1 minute 50s. Nice line underneath the tunnel there from Miles. Again, he's using 2nd gear. He's a little bit preferring to stay on the higher rev range in these conditions is Miles. Let's see as he comes through to 22, 23. Is this going to be an improvement? Yes! What a lap! A 150.2 from Miles. He's half a second quicker than Shortbread. Wow. Is that a sign that the conditions are getting better? But take nothing away from Miles. What a great effort that is. 50.2. He's provisionally pole, and Shortbread has just come out on a fresh set of intermediates, so he'll be looking to respond. Psycho still in the pits. I'm watching the weather conditions. There is no more rain falling at the moment. You can see a drier line appearing on the circuit currently. Will it be dry enough before the end of the race? We saw some very rapid changing conditions in race 2 earlier in the weekend league, tier 2 that was. Can it go the other way? Our Peter's just moved himself into 5th position. Of course, our Peter, no stranger to running at the front of the field. He got a race win last season in the weekend league with our Peter at Imola. Be open to get another one. Everyone else on laps currently. Russell Biffin on a lap. He's just coming through the second sector. He's at turn 8. He's at turn 10, approaching the Anderson Bridge. Good to see Shortbread on a lap at the moment. But he's not improving. He's a second down, so I think he's had a bit of a wobble somewhere. And John J.E., good effort. Now that's a sign that the conditions are improving. A 1:49.4 from Jones. Very good effort. And this is the critical time now. The drivers are going to be noticing the conditions improving lap upon lap. And if you can leave it to the last moment, will anybody chance the soft tyres? Still looks a bit too wet at the moment, but that can all change in the next 2-3 minutes. As Pusher Dino puts himself now into 2nd place. Watch as a Ferrari coming through. Fake Knutson goes into 3rd place. Who else is setting a lap at the moment? The Dr. V1. Russell Biffin goes P2. You want to be out there right now. You want to be fueled for a few laps, trying to take advantage of these conditions as they keep improving. 4 drivers in the pits. That's Miles, Psycho, Bet, and Jackie on Franson. Only Billy Misu and the Doctor yet to set a lap time. Everyone charging round the track at the moment. They can see improvements everywhere. Less than 5 minutes to go now. But I feel it's going to come down to these last... I feel like it's going to come down to these last few minutes. Who can take advantage of the weather conditions? I know that the race director is trying to keep on top of it all at the moment. There's laps everywhere. Watching Jolt J.E. at the moment, who's provisionally pole. He's actually coming back into the pit, so he's not going to improve. Will he be brave enough to go for the softs? I think I'm going to think about it. It's not quite there. JDM11, he comes into the pits as well. John Wick's going to be the next driver. I think he's going to set a lap time here as John Wick. So round the final... Oh, no, he's actually decided to bail on that lap. Stanchu and Natalie comes into the pits. I'm just cycling through the drivers to see where everyone is. So Miles has come back out. He's gone out on the intermediate compound tyre, so he doesn't feel like it's dry enough yet. Harinali's going to come around and set a lap time. The Doctor goes P1. Harinali goes 4. Russell Biffin now snatches provisional pole back, so it's a 48.7. The Doctor V1 in 2nd. Joel in 3rd, so there's time to be found still for the drivers. Jay Evans moves up to 7. He's in the top 10 for the first time this session. Billy Misu coming around the final corner. What's his lap time going to be? He will improve, and he goes 8th. So the AlphaTauri gets into the top 10. That puts Jackie on Franson down in 19th currently. All the drivers are rushing back to the pit lane, apart from Miles, who's in 9th. He's about to start a lap, I believe. Everyone waiting until the last possible moment in the pits currently. So here comes Miles. He's going to set his next flying lap time. Currently in 9th place, but he was briefly at the top of the standings. I'll watch him, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully the race director is watching Miles in 9th. Through turn 1 he comes. Oh, he's caught some traffic. Hopefully that gets out of the way. That's the Williams. Awkward place to do it, but Joshy did his best. Miles carries on now towards turn 5. Difficult corner to get right this, but Miles is nice and committed through there. Completely flat now. I can see Miles is using the hot lap as well, so he's got a bit more confidence. He's 2/10 up currently. This is very tidy so far from the Alpine. Third gear, the Doctor takes first place back in the McLaren, a 1:48.1. The Doctor knows exactly what he needs to do. There's a couple of yellow flags out there currently, but I'm watching Miles. Second gear, then third gear over the Anderson Bridge. Really committed, nice and dry over the bridge actually, I noticed, compared to the rest of the track. See that dry patches appearing all over the circuit, maybe a bit too late for the dry tyres to come along. And with 50 seconds left in the session, there's not going to be enough time anyway. Miles is 1.3 up at the moment. He's on track for second. It's all going to come down to this final sector. He'll have enough time to do another lap as well, will Miles? He's got a slow-moving Haas in front of him. Should get out of his way, which it does do. Psycho getting out of the way nicely there. So Miles comes around the final corner. This has been a very nice lap from Miles. Committed to the final corner. And he goes first. Miles puts himself provisionally back on pole. 10 seconds to go in the session. Short red is out. And Fetz has hit the wall. So he's out as well. Loads of cars have seen the checkered flag. I don't think they realised how little time they had left. So Jolt's got onto a lap here. This is a great opportunity for all the drivers who were lower, like Stanchu and Natalie, John Wick, Joshy. In fact, Joshy is on the soft compound tyres. I haven't got this on my radar, ladies and gentlemen, but Joshy is on the soft tyres, down in 18th place. He is 8/10 up on his lap at the moment. Everybody else on track. Joshy will be the last driver, I think. Set a lap time after second to last, I think, to set a lap time. So that his progress is going to be critical. John Wick on a lap, of course. Jolt is also on a lap. Miles has carried on. He's improving on his lap as Miles. Everyone else just got caught weather watching, I think. So who is going to be the first to set a lap? It's going to be John Wick. He's 3.4 seconds up at the moment is John Wick. He's on for a 48.2, which is going to put him so close to the front row. This qualifying session has been absolutely brilliant. Here comes John Wick around the final corner. He's got a bit wide. He goes first. He gets provisional pole. A 1:46.6. That's an incredible lap time. Miles, he's going to improve, but it won't be enough. He's done a 48 flat. Where's Joshy? On the soft tyres. He's coming around the final corner. He's not going to get it, but he goes second. It was a good gamble. What about Jolt? Oh, Stanchu and Natalie crashes as he goes over pole line. Jolt has took it. The last driver to cross the line. We didn't see the lap flash up, but Jolt J7 takes the first pole position of the season. Cracking effort from Jolt JE. He's done it in the Alpha Tower. He was in the right place, the last car to come across the line. He takes pole position here at Singapore. John Wick is second. Joshy, that's a valiant effort in the Williams. Third place on those soft tyres. Miles is in fourth. Doctor is fifth. Russell Biffin sixth. Stanchu and Natalie got up to seventh despite crashing over the finish line. Still a good effort. Eighth is Haran Ali. Ninth, Pushadino. 10th, Fake Nuts. Jay Evans, 11th, Billy Misu, R. Peter, Shortbread, JDM, Psycho, the man who won last week, is down in 16th. Gio is 17th, Bet 18th, and Jackie on Franson at the back of the grid. Wow. Well, what a qualifying session that was. That was superb to watch. Hello to Ben Roberts in the chat there. Race 2 winner earlier on in the weekend league tier 2. He'll know a thing about racing in intermediate conditions, will Ben, after an earlier session, but that was great. And the first pole of the season goes the way of Jolt J. Whether the Faenza team of AlphaTauri were expecting that podium, that pole position, who knows? But he was in the right place at the right time, and credit to him for that. Ooh, so how is this race going to shape up then? Looks like we've got some overcast conditions. Pochadino saying that he didn't get the chance to do his last lap on the soft. That's a shame. Would have been good to see how you'd have got on, Pusher. But you got the race still to come. 2 races, of course. Let's see if the drivers can have some good battles. We saw some brilliant fights out on circuit. So here we go then, the 5 red lights. And the race is live from Singapore. Who's going to get the best start? Looks like John's got a decent one. John waits alongside them as they approach him. Josh, he's gone flying into second place. It's a great start for him. And he's into second. There's all sorts of fighting going on. Miles is in 4th. The Doctor down to 5th. Russell Biffin's there as well. We've all come through. Looks like relatively cleanly. That's positive. Great start for everyone. Loads of fights going on in the midfield at the moment, but they've all got through it fine. And Jock J7 leads the way. There is a car round its Geo at turn 5. Fake Knutson involved as well. Fake Knutson has a part of his front wing missing, but Jolt is trying to pull away already. That's a great start for him. Jolt leads. Josh is second. John Wick and Miles both on the medium tyres are in 3rd and 4th. The Doctor is 5th. Russell Biffin. Doctor trying to look at a move for Miles in 5th place there, but not quite close enough. Russell 6th. Paranelli 7th. Pushadino 8th. Oh, Peter, 9th place. Then the next Alfa Romeo JDM. He's on the medium compound tyres. That is a good start for everybody. Oh, there's a little bit of contact. And that's Billy Misu going down a couple of spots. And the Doctor had a little bit of a wobble, and Billy Misu out. I'm not sure what's gone on there. He's left the session. Hopefully he's just having connection issues. He can get back in. That is a shame. All sorts of carnage going on, but Jolt J is flying. He's 2.3 to the good. He's got away from Joshy, who had a bit of a difficult time last week, did Joshy, but he's proven already that he's able to fight at the front of everybody. He's comfortably in second, but the soft tyre compound, arguably the different strategy there. Stu and Natalie's in the wall. Oh dear, Harren Alley's round as well, so Harren Alley does another car facing the wrong way. A couple of drivers have lost time already. Oh, there's a yellow light. That's just for Harren Alley going slowly. And into the pits goes Fake Knutson and Fex. They're both going to have to change that. Oh, Joshy's gone backwards. He's out. He's at T5. He's going to have to wait to try and turn the car around. Oh, he's going to have to wait for ages to get the car facing the right way again. Commentator's curse for Joshy. He was running in P2. I said he was looking good, and then sure enough, he's down in 15th place. The Sol Williams, sadly for him, he's all the way down there. Everybody else, though, currently now 4.2 seconds clear of John Wick. And it's Miles, Russell Biffin, and the Doctor, and Pushadino on the soft tyres. They're trying to get past these 2 medium runners. It's very important for those 2 to get past. Gavra saying that Joshy spun. I think he did. I think you're right there with that one. He was comfortably clear of John Wick. No DRS, of course, ladies and gentlemen, until the 3rd lap. Not activated. Same under safety car restart as well. Got to have done 3 racing laps. I'll go on to the 3rd racing lap before it's enabled. As JDM picks up a 3-second time penalty in the Alfa Romeo. It's impressive to do that on a street circuit, but there we are. This is lots of close battles on the circuit. Jolty now 5 seconds clear after 3 laps. He's putting those soft tyres to good use. Like I said earlier, DRS now enabled. It's all going to come down to how the drivers will prepare themselves with DRS as cars fighting in front and behind them. Keep all the DRSs and ERS as well. So John Wick, 5 seconds behind. Where is Miles in relation to this? Close enough. Psycho has got himself up into an 8th place. That is a Red Bull. Actually, no, I'm not sure who that is. It's gone backwards. JDM's lost places. Been overtaken by Shortbread and Psycho. So Jay going from 8th to 10th there. Billy Misu having a bit of a torrid time out there at the moment. Not sure what's happened to him today. Josh is having a few issues as well after running in second. Just seems to have gone away from him. Never know, safety car could change all of this. But the closest fight on the track at the moment, the Doctor, right up at the back of this queue. I'm watching, of course, the fight for 7. Bart Peters just about holding on to that. The Doctor not close enough. Oh, he almost run into the back of Russell Biffin, but he got away with it. Psycho trying to make a move. Up for P7, and Peter ran wide. That's easy enough for Psycho. He'll just take that all day long. Defends it nicely, and that's P7 for Psycho. Shouldn't have to defend going into the tunnel, but Peter was thinking about it. Shaped up a little move. The Doctor, though, they're both, Russell Biffin and the Doctor, are both stuck behind each other. Russell now is on the outside line. Will the Doctor look to make a move at the inside? He's still kept his nose there, but he's not quite close enough to make that move stick as JDM picks up another time penalty. The Doctor goes a bit wide. Ooh, JDM having a good fight with Jay Evans actually for the last point. At the moment, the Doctor's dropped to 6th. Tried to get past Pochadino. Nothing doing there. Let's have a look at the... Oh, Shortbread is... Ooh, Shortbread and Arpisa side by side going through turn 7 on the brakes. That's a move for Shortbread. Arpisa trying to do the undercut. I don't think he's going to have enough grip to get past, and he isn't. We'll leave it at that. Psycho up 9 places. He's now in 7th position. Shortbread up 6 in 8th. So those two got caught out. There's a Red Bull in the wall. And that's Harren Ali, actually, who spun round at turn 8. So that's not ideal for the Red Bull. Doesn't look like he's got any damage, but you will see. Ooh, our Peter's gone round. So our Peter drops out of the point. Has to get himself back up to speed again. Chucky on Branson goes past him. And the McLaren of Gio. Oh, our Peter's actually broke his front wing. So our Peter's going to have to come into the pits. Maybe employ a different strategy, because at the moment he's going to be struggling out there with no front wing. Closest fights though still on the track. I mean, John Wick still in 2nd place, setting some consistent lap times. That means no one can really get close enough past him as the Doctor goes into the pits in the McLaren. I don't think he's got any damage as the Doctor. I could be wrong. Let's watch that pit stop. And he hasn't. So he goes to the mediums. So the Doctor trying to do the undercut. It was very powerful in the weekend league race 1 earlier. The 2nd tier that was. Here comes Miles. Is he going to be close enough on John Wick? He's going to be on the inside this time. And John Wick has to move out of the way. He gets it a little bit awkward. Will Russell go around the outside? Oh, they lean on each other, a little bit of contact, but Russell keeps his car there. Russell's on the inside line this time. They're still side by side. This is great racing. John Wick, who's going to be last of the late breakers. Contact between the two. Pochadino goes past and gets 4th. Wow, brilliant and brave driving from Russell Biffin. I thought that was going to end in a shunt, but the pair of them come out of it. John Wick goes from 3rd to 5th, sadly, but Russell Biffin now, he can try and go after Miles, providing he's got enough tyre life left in those softs. But that was brilliant side-by-side action between the two of them. That's great to watch. Pochadino is right behind the Haas. So the soft tyres still have a little bit of pace. Slicko is caught right up to the back of this lot. This is incredible pace that the Haas driver is demonstrating here at the moment. Is Russell Biffin pitting? He is. So the soft tyre runner, Russell, goes into the pits. Psycho carries on. So Russell trying to cover off the pit stop from the Doctor earlier on, who is on the medium compound tyres and has caught the back of Statue and Natalie. I'm watching the fight for 5th place with Psycho currently. He's all over the back of John Wick. He's going to have DRS and ERS available to him. He's going to look for a move with Psycho. He's on the side for turn 6, but on the inside for turn 7. It should break a little bit later. And he gets past John Wick. He's up to 4th. The Doctor has come out behind Russell Biffin, so it's worked out well for Russell. He's not lost too much time. Oh, the Doctor has got past Statue and Natalie as well, as I say that. And Jackie on France in pits now. So, gap at the front. Miles is 6.5 seconds behind Jolt JE. And Jolt will be thinking, how can he make these compound tyres just a little bit longer? He's not under any immediate threat from Psycho, but he'll want to try and save his tyres a little bit longer if he can. Whether he'll be able to do that will depend on the other drivers who've pitted already. John Wick still in 5th place. Obviously been overtaken by Psycho now. Pushadino there in 3rd. Miles got himself a little bit of a gap. And Jolt is coming into the pit. So race leader is into the pits. He should come out Jolty, potentially in front of Gio, who's in 9th. So Miles takes the lead. Pushadino goes into the pits, as does Psycho. That puts Jay Evans into the top 3 places. Nice pit stop for Jolt, no problems. He's straight back out there. There is Gio. He's not even coming around the final corner yet, so it's worked out very nicely for Jolt. He's going to get out in front of Gio. Be not as close as I thought it was going to be. So Jolt gets out in front of Gio. Harren Ali gets in front of the Red Bull of his teammate Pushadino. So that'll be important. Oh, look at the Doctor trying to go for a move. The Doctor is also there. Russell Biffin's there. They're all together. All the fighters. There's an Alpha Tauri that's actually ghosting because of how everybody came out of the pits there. I think it's Billy Misu actually. Billy Misu, I think, is the ghost who's just behind everybody at the moment. But Psycho comes out behind Pushadino. The Doctor is 10th. Russell Biffin is 11th. Shortbread in 12th, so he's not too far away. Very close between all these drivers, but Pushadino has put himself in a very good position. And will he employ team tactics? You know, will the Milton Keynes team of Red Bull, Christian Horner, will he be on the radio telling Harren Ali, right, let Pusher through, try and hold off Psycho for a lap? Of course, the strategists do that. There's no harm in doing that. Drivers can defend from one another. But he makes you no longer in the race, so the ghost is just getting in the way, really, at the moment. Pushadino closing that gap down to Harren Ali. Blue flags obviously being shown around the circuit. Whilst that's going on, Miles, John Wick and Jay Evans are your top 3. As JDM pits on the medium compound tyres. And Harren Ali pits. So Pushadino will take advantage of the DRS. And Harren Ali picks up a 5-second penalty. Fake Knudsen gets a penalty for running over track limits. Ooh, Psycho just got a little bit wide there. The drivers who want to fight for the podium spots at the moment all together on circuit. Pushadino, Psycho. Ooh, Psycho just nudging the wall there through turns 5. Got away with it. There's Russell Biffin. He's lost time actually as Russell Biffin. I don't know if he was really slow off the corner, but he's under a little bit of pressure from Shortbread. Lots of fights going on further down the field. I am watching the gaps down there at the moment. Harren Ali, Fake Knudsen, Jackie O'Franson all together. The race director is watching. Hopefully the fight over 6th through to 10th. Shortbread's all over the back of Russell at the moment. He looks very comfortable on these medium tyres, does the Mercedes. I think he's going to get the exit he would have wanted to try and get past Russell, so he'll be safe. All running so far without any issues, which is positive. To the curse of the commentator, John Wick is in the pits. So John Wick, was it running in second, has been involved in the lead fight the whole way through. He now hits. He's going to come out behind that fight that we've been watching. He'll be on the soft tyres. Will he be able to make advantage of those? This is a safety car. Safety car. Fake Knudsen is in the wall after the Anderson Bridge. Oh, who's that coming out of the pits there? John Wick's coming out of the pits. Will he get out in front of Shortbread? It's going to be close, but he does. So John Wick is going to be allowed to pass the safety car, which he does. So he gets up to wave, and he's on the soft tyres. The one who's going to be very disappointed with this is Jolt, obviously, because Jolt will have been sat there thinking he's got an easy run to the flag. He had a huge gap to the cars behind, but now he's going to be under threat now for this race win. And the other two drivers, the two Alpines of Miles and Jay Evans, are they going to... I think Miles is going to come out in front of Jolt here. And he'll come out on the soft tyres. And Jay Evans might just come out in front of Gio. It's going to be exceptionally close. But the two Alpines could be on, dare I say it, for a 1-2 if all plays out well for them. So they're coming through towards the pit lane. The Alpine team will be ready in the pit lane. Both, and they're both obviously in the same team. Of course, they'll be able to double stack. They're both far enough away from one another, Miles and Jay Evans. So Miles crawls into the pits. Doesn't want us to get the speed limiter, of course. Doesn't want to trip that and get a penalty. So they are now both in the pit. Miles pulls into his pit box. This is a nice stop for the number 15. It is. He gets out. Nicely done. What about Jay Evans? I'm watching Jolt as he comes down the pit. Jolt's gone into the pits. He's going for the soft tyres. And I don't think that's a bad call, necessarily. Personally, it's a difficult one to call, to be honest, considering the situation. But Miles is in front of Psycho. Just! It was close, but he gets ahead. So Miles gets into P1. Psycho second. The Doctor third. Jay Evans is out in front of John Wick. That was super close, but he's done it. Shortbread in sixth. Jolt in seventh. On reflection, I think Jolt might curse that decision, I think, later on in the race. I think he's got the speed. He's shown very good pace all the way through as Jolt, but track position's a big one around here. He might have been conscious of Miles getting out in front of him, but then again, he wouldn't have. So, Jolt decides to go for the soft tyre. JDM is 8th, Gio 9th, Pushadino is in 10th position. Pushadino was in the fight for the podium earlier on, so he's right the way down in 10th and way behind actually, so it's not worked out for the Red Bull, the lead Red Bull at the moment. Jackie O'Franson's right there in 11th, Stancho and Natalie 12th, Betts 13th, Joshi's in 14th, R. Peter 15th, Aaron Alley 16th, Russell Biffin. It's not gone well for Russell since the issues earlier, but he's fallen all the way down to 17th, and then Billy Misu goes out into 18th place. Ooh, we had a safety car in both races in the Tier 2 league. We've got a safety car in race 1 in the Tier 1 league. And Miles on the precipice of a first victory in the Gavra Racing Weekend League. He's on the right tyre. The tyre will happily last until the end of the race because there'll only be 4 laps remaining, and the safety car is going to go round again unless it decides to go into the pits now, which I'd be very surprised. It'd be too late, I think, for the race director to do that. Sure enough, it goes round again. This gives a chance for everybody to catch up to the back of the group. So Psycho there in second, Doctor right there, Jay Evans just closing that gap down. Doesn't want to take too much out of his soft tyres. He could be on for a podium for Jay Evans, providing that he gets his restart right. John Wick, there's Shortbread. He's surrounded by soft tyre runners, Shortbread. He'll be a bit frustrated by that. Jolt he was on for the race win without that safety car, but now he's going to have to prove his worth. He wants to get back on the podium. JDM Air in 8th, Gio 9th, Pushadino 10th, Jackie Branson in 11th. And the medium tyres, Stanchi, Betts, Joshy. And Peter, Russell Biffin, Harron, Ali and Billy Nisu have not yet caught the safety car, although admittedly Billy Nisu is a lap down. So hopefully for R. Peter and Russell Biffin should catch the safety car. It's going to be close whether Harron Ali does or not. But big chance for the drivers now. This has been a very mixed grid. Thanks to the wet intermediate qualifying session. But it's brought up a fascinating race up to this point, and I'm very excited to see how these last 4 laps play out. Excuse me, apology. Psycho and the Doctor waiting to try and make. Oh, there we go, safety car in this lap, so Miles will have 4 laps to dictate his own pace. He's slowed right down now, he's letting the safety car go. He can do whatever he wants now. The rest of the group, Harron Ali's not yet called the safety car train, he might miss out here. But this is it for Miles, this is a big chance. He's driven brilliantly all the way through qualifying, he's on lap 11. He will restart on lap 12. He won't have to worry about DRS either. Harron Ali is just going to catch the pack here, incredibly. Miles is getting ready to go. Psycho's all over the back of him, but Miles jumps it early. Then he slows down. I think he's been limited by the game. Now he gets to go. The Doctor's alongside Psycho. Because of the game limiting Miles, he wasn't able to go there. The Doctor trying to go really outside of turn 1, but that didn't quite pay off for him. Couple of changes. John Wick's being challenged by Shortbread. John Wick on the outside. Look at Jules. Look at Jules going for 2 for the price of 1. Oh, he nearly got John Wick. He didn't in the end, but he's got Shortbread, which is what he would have wanted. JDM picks up another time penalty. Brilliant races so far. The Doctor still in 3rd place. R. Peter gets up to 14th. Joshy going backwards. Psycho trying to put pressure on Miles. Oh, there's a car that's gone into the wall actually. Oh my goodness, there's a whole fight going on for 9th place. Fetz has managed to get past the whole train of cars. Bit of an issue there, and it's just dropped everyone away. So that lot are all in their own fight now. Look at Jolt, he's all over the back of John Wick. He's trying to make a move. He might have a chance here. John Wick was a little bit hesitant on the parry and a little bit of wheel spin. Jolt's going to try and go around the outside. He's got the move. He's up to 5th place. Is this tyre call going to play out for the AlphaTauri? Jay Evans can't quite get onto the back of these front 3 drivers despite being on the soft. So Jay Evans might be struggling here. But it's still a great performance as it stands. Miles has just started to stretch his legs a little bit. Jackie has gone round. He's gone off at turn 14. 15, 16 he's gone off there. And our Peter's now in the wall as well, under the tunnel. Oh, the Doctor has picked up a 3-second time penalty. Now that is critical. If Jay Evans and Jolt could stay within 3 seconds of the Doctor, they will get that podium place. The Doctor will be kicking himself for that mistake. But Jolty looks incredibly quick at the moment. I've got to say though, Jay Evans is the one who is just managing the situation perfectly. He's got a load of VRS available for him to use. And our Peter is out, he's retired in the pit lane. He's had enough. But if he can just hold on, Jay Evans, it could be a double podium for Alpine, and what a start to the Constructors' Championship that would be. Psycho just doing all he can to keep the effort on Miles. He's doing a great effort, is Psycho at the moment on the medium size, but he's pushing that car to the limit. Oh, Oh, Jolt hit the wall, Jolt's out! He's crashed over the Anderson Bridge. He tried his hardest and he's out of the race. I just caught that. Oh no. That is such a shame for Jolt. It's all gone wrong. Billy Misu's gone out as well. Both AlphaTauris in the space of about half a mile have crashed out. Oh dear, oh dear. What a shame. It could have been a race win, but Jolt had the safety car not come out, but that's the way the crocky crumbles sometimes. So, with that in mind, 2 laps to go. DRS is now enabled for everybody. Fetz has got himself up into 7th. He's got past JDM in an orthodox move, but he's done it well, so fair play to him. And Jay Evans just needs to hold on. He's got no pressure behind him now as the Alpine. And if he can just hang on to the back of the crew in front of him, it'll be a double podium for Alpine. It'll be a great result, that. Meanwhile, Shortbread going past John Wick for 5th place. Despite being on the medium compound tyres, Shortbread does not care at all. He's got the speed to get past John Wick, who's got a penalty. Betts, his teammate, is in 7th. Look at them do a little bit of team orders here, maybe swap the cars around. Russell Biffin's back in the top 10 with a crate move on the outside of Gio. It's Jackie of France who picks up a penalty now. Jay Evans is just holding on to the back of the McLaren. A little bit of lag from the McLaren. Actually caught Jay Evans out a little bit. He's lost a bit of time, but 3 seconds is what he needs to hold on to. But 4 cars out of this race. Psycho's still within a second of Miles. You know, let's not forget this fight. I know I haven't covered it much, but Miles is just hanging on at the moment. The soft tyres will be starting to go away. Who's gone round? Oh, Jay Evans has gone round! Oh no! Jay Evans, who was on for a podium. It looks like Shortbread's going to be the one to get a podium. I can't believe it. Betts goes past. That's a regulation move. John Wick just let him through, his teammate there. So this is it, the final lap of the race. Joshy's, I think that's another Red Bull round. I think that's Joshy's gone round actually. Psycho's within DRS, but he's not close enough to the back. Oh my God, Shortbread's gone round. And they're all spinning up. Does anybody want a podium this race? It's unbelievable. The Doctor will be breathing a sigh of relief in that McLaren. But Psycho is closing that gap on Miles. Miles has just got a hold on. He's got still got the faster tyre at this point, but they will be struggling a little bit. Psycho clips through turn number 11 and 12. On the brakes, down through the Anderson Bridge. Shortbread's dropped to 9th. It's all gone wrong for Shortbread. 40 seconds ago, he was up for a podium. Psycho's not close enough for a lunge. He's still on back of the Alpine, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. If he wants to get past, it's going to have to require something unorthodox. 5 corners to go for Miles. He's on his way to a first win. 3 corners left. He got it a little bit wrong, but he should be fine. It's going to be, for the first time at Gavra Racing, Miles M24 wins in the Alpine. A great result. Psycho 2nd. The Doctor is 3rd. Fetz, a great recovery drive from Fetz to finish 4th. He's done well there. John Wick will come across the line 5th, but Pushadino gets it. Russell Biffin, good recovery from Russell Biffin in 6th. John Wick ends up 7th. Gio 8th. Shortbread 9th. That is Stanchu and Natalie backwards across the line, but he still finishes 10th. Jay Evans, what could have been for Jay Evans? JDM 12. Wow. What a race we had. In the end, Psycho takes driver of the day, and rightfully so, from 16th to 2nd in the end. But it's Miles M who takes his first win for Alpine. That's a great start to the season for the team. Psycho takes second in the end, a great recovery. The Doctor in third, despite his penalty and despite evidently looking like he'd lost it 3 times in those last few laps, he still held on to a podium, so McLaren get a podium there. Betts fourth, Pochettino in 5th place. Good recovery from him and Russell Biffin because they had some issues. They dropped to 5th and 6th in the end, but that's still a good recovery drive. John Wick in 7th. After starting in 2nd place, he was in the fight all the way through, but strategy in the end pulled him away from a race win. Gio in 8th. So a double points finish for McLaren and for Aston Martin. Shortbread in 9th. Literally on the last lap, could have had a podium, but it went wrong for him. Stancio and Natalie got the final point playing position, which is incredible considering that both in qualifying and in the race he faced the wrong way at the end on his last lap, but he still got the point. Jay Evans, what could have been 11th place. JDM in 12th. Jackie on France in 13th. Aaron Ali 14th. Joshi in 15th place. He had a bit of a torrid time. And then the 4 retirements, Jolty, who would have won the race had it not been with the safety car. And the strategy decision, our Peter ended up out, Billy Misu was out, and Fake Nutson crashed out, causing the first safety car. Ooh, take a breath, everyone. We're going to need it. That was a frenetic first race, we shall say. So everyone gets the chance to have a breather, a chance for everyone to just take a moment after that one to acknowledge what's just gone on for all the drivers, and have a little breather myself. Gonna need it after that race. Well, that's the thing in Formula One racing, of course, it can all change so quickly. And that's exactly what happened. You know, it looked like Jolt was on track for a race win. Then the safety car came out. Decision making. Was that the right call to go on the soft tyres? It might have been, it might not have been. He was looking quick and then he clipped the inside of the Anderson Bridge, ripped his tyre off, and that was it for the AlphaTauri. He could have still got a podium at the end of all, considering how the rest of the race played out. Jay Evans, another one, looked like he was going to get a podium because of the McLaren time penalty for the Doctor. He then spun round, Shortbread got on for a podium, then he spun round. It was just incredible. And in the end, fair play to Miles, who just kept out of trouble all the way through and took a race win and leads the championship as a result. Lobby update, we've got a quick left there, not sure why that's happened. Should be coming back in, of course. So drivers just give themselves a moment to relax, reflect on what's gone on, see what they need to do differently, or maybe to do the same for a couple of drivers. Keep on top of the incidents, maybe try and avoid some last-ditch manoeuvres. Just having a little look in the chat at the moment, just to see what everybody is saying after that race. Of course, everyone now back in the lobby, which is positive. A couple of people left. Don't think they meant to. But that does happen sometimes. Heat a moment for some people. Jolt saying he overheated the tyres.
You know, such a shame. Couple of drivers, you know, Fetz as well. That was a very good recovery from Fetz. You know, he was a driver that did well in the weekend league last season. He had 2 podiums at Saudi Arabia, a track that we're visiting again this season as well, later on. JDM lamenting the fact that he's not got his wheel. But these things happen from time to time, and we just got to make do with what we've got, the equipment that's best of us. So hopefully for Jay, he'll be able to, JDM that is, hopefully he'll be able to just get in line back on the wheel, on the controller, I say. Hopefully he'll be able to adjust back to it. And now session going to start again in a few seconds' time. One-shot qualifying, of course. Here we go then. The drivers all synchronising, waiting for the lobby to start. Session, everyone's setups hopefully loaded in. And whether now the drivers will be making their last momentary preparations, maybe a front wing click here, maybe a little bit of a soften of the suspension over some of the curbs. We'll soon find out in the next couple of moments. So here we go then, into our one-shot. Let's see how everybody gets on. So they come across the line for the first time of asking. It's Jolt J7 though, who is currently at the front of the field. He'll be aiming to get another pole position. He did it before. He's going to be in the lead coming into the first sector, which is nicely done for him. Everyone very close together on track at the moment. I'm just watching the looking at the left-hand side of the field. There's so many names changing places as they go through. But Jolt leading the way. Russell Biffman's up to second. Well, he's fighting with the Doctor. Both Haas cars looking very competitive. No weather conditions to worry about this time, so it's all on pure performance in dry conditions. Jolt still leads the way. Got a little bit of a gap actually as Jolt, I'm watching. But the Doctor has closed that up in that corner through turn 14. Very nice corner from Doctor. But it's very close. Jolt still trying to hold on. Pushadino literally now pushing himself into the arguments as well. Coming through the final sector, Psycho puts himself into P2. It's going to be oh so close. Jolt's going to come around these final 2 corners. Shouldn't have any issues from here. And that is pole position. Look how close it was between the top 6. Unbelievable. It's less than 0.2 of a second. Wow. That was superb. What a qualifying. Jolt gets his second pole of the race. Weekend. 0.2 of a second. Separates first of Jolt. Russell Biff in second. Pushadino third. Psycho fourth. Doctor in fifth. JM in sixth. Shortbread in seventh place. RP to eighth. Miles, the one who won in race 1, in ninth. And Harad Ali gets himself into the top 10. So that was very interesting to see. Wow, how close that is between the top 6 is incredible. Whole field separated by, well, first to 14th is separated by 3 seconds. I think the remaining 2 drivers had a little bit of an issue on their lap, but they still set a lap time which put them in front of 3 other cars who didn't do that. Jay getting frustrated by his controller issues, but just got to make do.
Hopefully for the next race at Interlagos, Jay, you'll have your wheel. You won't need to worry about it anymore. But 20 seconds before we go into the race, do comment below who you think's gonna win it, or how you think you might get on in the race, because I know there's a few drivers in the chat area currently. Whether they've got enough time to do so. And that is it. So we go onto the grid. 5 red lights coming on now here at Singapore. And the race is live here at Marina Bay. Looks like an equal start from the front two. Psycho's up to third already. A great start for Psycho. He gets past Pochettino, but Joel leads the way. On the soft tyres, Russell Biffin is in second. Psycho third. There's an accident at the back. It's John Wick. And, both Aston Martins have gone off circuit. Lots of fighting in the midfield currently. There's a little bit of it back to Harren Ali, who's up to 7th. So good start for Harren Ali. He'll be chuffing that. Up 3 places already. Fake Nutson's up to 9th. He's up 5 places. As is Joshy. Another good start for the Williams. So fascinating to see Billy Misu putting a move on Jackie O'Franson there in 13th position. But at the moment, the leading together. Peter dropping down a few places, lost a lot more than a few places. He's the wrong way round at turn number 9. Nightmare for the Alpha. He goes down to 18th. He's going to go down to stone dead last. Is our Peter, so he's faced the wrong way. But it's Jolt leading currently in the Alpha Tauri. Then it's the 2 pass cars of Russell. Oh, and our Peter has retired. He's had enough. He's pulled it over to the side. Psycho straight under pressure from Pochettino. And we've got a virtual safety car, thanks to our Peter pulling the circuit. A chance just for drivers to recharge their ERS batteries. Gio's lost the place. In fact, Gio's lost a few more places. In fact, Gio's letting a few drivers through. I'm not quite sure what's gone on, but Billy Misu's took advantage of that. He's up to 15. So, virtual safety car. Both Aston Martins down the back of the field. Not ideal. Joshy's up into the points. He's in 10th. The car's coming across the line. That's Jackie O'Franson going into the pits. Still under virtual safety car conditions. And Jackie O'Franson has gone for the hard compound tyre. He's going to try and do what was a race-winning strategy in the earlier league race. That was Antzar, who was also in the house. He did that. He went on safety car on lap 1 and then went on to the hard tyre and won the race. Maybe Jackie O'Franson can get some points there. See the tyre compound at the moment. Still on the safety car, and we are green. So away we go. Once again, the top 7 drivers, all on the soft compound tyres. Jay Evans in 8th, who's on the mediums. Fake Knudsen is 9th on the hards. So it'd be fascinating to see how Fake Knudsen gets on the hard tyres. But John's had a good restart. He's 9/10ths clear of Russell Biffin in 2nd place. Psycho there in 3rd. Everyone just real close together at the moment. No DRS enabled, of course. The drag reduction system not active until the 3rd lap of green flag running. We haven't had a safety car yet, so there should be no issue for the DRS system to come online. To see everyone very close together at the moment, but no one quite shaping up for a move just yet. John sets the fastest lap of the race. Yellow flag in the 3rd sector. Joshy's spun it. He's fallen down to 14. Oh, as Fetz goes up the inside of Gio. That was opportunistic. And Fetz sets the fastest lap time. He's actually making a move on Joshy for 14th place. So 2 drivers in the space of 2 corners for Fetz. He's up to 14th place. There's another yellow flag out there. That's the Red Bull that's gone round. That's Josh has gone backwards again. So a nightmare for Joshy after being in 10th on for a point. But the leading 3 three drivers have got themselves a little bit of a gap to push Adino in fourth. Another yellow flag. That's Joshy again who's gone round. He's having a nightmare now. He's going to have to hope for a safety car. But the Doctor on the back of Pushadino, he's got DRS. He uses a little bit of DRS as well as the Doctor, but he's not going to be close enough. Oh, he did try and make a lunge and he's got it back of Pusher. Shortbread makes the place up. Shortbread moves up to fourth, Harry fifth, Jay Evan goes up to sixth, Nuts up to seventh. And I've got to give credit to the Doctor because he nearly hit the back of Pushadino, but at least he let Pushadino go back through. He knew that he got it wrong, so the Doctor loses out as well. Jolt sets, oh well, 3 consecutive fastest laps from Jolt, then Russell, then Psycho. So Shortbread's up to fourth. He's got a bit of a gap to try and move himself into. Whilst the front three are very close on circuit at the moment. Jay Evans is very close to the back of Harren Ali. He's had a great race in Red Bull. In fifth currently, but it's going to be susceptible to an attack here from Jay Evans. Harren Ali making that defensive shape towards turn 7, but he's decided better of it. Doesn't need to worry too much. McNuts is running well in 7, despite being on the hard tyres. He's got Pushadino, who's now recovering behind him. Billy Misu up to 12, she's got past Stanchu and Natalie. Pretty straightforward move that. Now I'm expecting Pushadino to get past Fake Nuts very quickly. Soft tyre versus the hards. The soft tyres are expected to be about 2 seconds a lap faster around the sector. Stanchu and Natalie's in the wall. Oh, Pushadino with a lovely undercut underneath the Ferrari. Ball 7th place, he's got DRS. He's going to go to the outside line. Pusher can't get through, but Fake Nutson's line wasn't that great, and Fake Nutson loses the place. Good racecraft from Pusher to put himself back into a prime position to overtake the Ferrari. Front three though, race away. Jolt's in the pits. That is early from the Alpha Tauri. So Jolty deciding he wants to get a new fresh set of boots on. I'm looking to see what tyre compound he's going onto. He's going onto the mediums, so he's hoping to try and make them last the remaining 10 laps that he has to complete. 11 laps, I should say. So Psycho's going to now be fighting for the first place with his teammate, because Russell Biffin now leads the way. Got some good fights all over the circuit, of course. Shortbread in third place currently, Harren Ali in 4th. The Doctor just getting past Fake Nuts in for 8th place, but Fake Nuts in not giving this up. And sure enough, he gets the move done and dusted again. So Fake Nuts in, despite being on those hard compound tyres, feels he can fight this. The Doctor getting a bit frustrated. He can't get back past. Miles up to 7th as well. Statue and Natalie has gone into the pits. Jolty has come out in 14th position, and he's got a nice gap actually to push into for those medium tyres. So that might work out quite well for him. The two Haas cars running first and second. Gunter Steiner will be very happy at the moment. Billy Misu has got lost place, and that's Joshy who's gone round again. Nightmare for Joshy. He's got going again though. And Russell Biffin does respond to the pit stop from Jolty. So into the pits goes Russell. Billy Misu picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that releases Sleepo now in the Haas to try and put some laps in. Just watching to see where Jolty is. Russell's in the pits. Obviously, Harren Ali's gone into the pits. Russell Biffin now being served by the American team in the pit lane. He's coming out of the pits now. Where is Jolty? It's going to be quite close, this, between the Haas and... It's going to be very close. Here comes on the brakes now into turn 1, and Jolty's just going to get in front of Russell. He's got his tyres up to temperature as well as Jolty, so he's maintain that position. That's worked out well for the Alpha Tauri driver. So Psycho now is still out on the soft tyres. Jolte using all of his ERS there just to try and pull away. And now it's on Psycho and Shortbread, both running on the soft tyres at the moment. As for Pushadino, but he's, thanks to that accident with the doctor earlier on, he's going to be pretty much out of this race for the race victory unless you see a safety car. Psycho really pushing the car. Had a little wiggle coming out of turn 14. He's got the fastest lap of the race, his Psycho as well. He hasn't pulled any time on Jolte, so Jolte is closing the gap between them 25.5 seconds. And Psycho into the pits now, and I think he'll come out behind Jolte. It's going to be very close between him and Russell, though, his teammate. Josh is out of the race. I think he's retired in the pit lane now, has Joshy. Shortbread comes into the pits too, so those two stop. Jay Evans takes the lead. Right up at the sharp end today is Jay Evans, which is good. So, the team, how is this pit stop for Haas? It's a good one. Jolte coming round the penultimate corner now. JDM's got a 5-second penalty, not ideal. There's Psycho. Gonna be oh so close between the two, but Jolte gets it and he squeezes in front. Psycho just about gets in front of his teammate, but he's not got the tyres up to temperature yet. So Psycho and Russell side by side, the two teammates. Trying around the outside. That's a brilliant move. And he's got DRS. It shouldn't be a problem to hold on. Russell gets back into 6th place. Provisionally 2nd, of course. Wow. Brilliant overtake from Russell. So Psycho's stint just a lap maybe too long than what he would have wanted. Shortbread's down in 17th. Fetz is in the wall as well. Fetz is retired from the session, so Fetz is out. Not sure what's happened to Shortbread, but he's all the way down in 17th place. Bit of an odd one. So we've got an Alpine 1-2 once again. So Jay Evans running in the lead currently. He has a 15.5 second gap to Jolt, who's in 5th place, the de facto race leader at the moment. Jay Evans running a good race. It'll be open for some good points. His teammate Miles, of course, won the first race. He'll be open for some good points as well. Fake Knutson on those hard compound tyres. He's in 3rd. Gio now under pressure from the Haas, or rather the AlphaTauri of Jolt. Jolt's got DRS. Is he going to look for a move at turn 1? He is indeed. Gio won't be too pleased with that, but Gio's kind of got surprised by it all in the end, so he loses that place. He's probably going to lose another spot to Russell and to Psycho very, very quickly. But Gio has the DRS. Russell's closing the gap. Which side does Russell go? He's looking to the inside, to the outside. He's going to try and brave it on the outside, but Gio just runs him out the road. But this is important for Jolt now to try and a little bit of a gap he's got over Gio. Shortbread is, I don't know if he's left the session, if he's retired, but he's had another nightmare race as Shortbread. What could have been for these sessions? Gio still fending off from Russell Biffin. And do you know what? Jolt has pulled away by almost 2 seconds as a result of this. Russell's going to have to go for it here at turn 14. Doesn't. Just can't get close enough. And this is more time he's losing to Jolt, who's catching up to the back of Fake Knutson now. Red Bulls in the top 10 as well, both McLarens, both Alpines. It's just Fake Knutson and Jolt who are the 2 outliers. They don't have any teammates in the top 10 yet. Gio still holding on to 5th place. DRS enabled again for Russell Biffin. He's a lot quicker this time. He's going to have to go to the outside line. Gio defending. What is Wow, Psycho gets past the pair of them. That was brilliant. What a move. Psycho from 7th to 5th in one corner. Geos 5th to 7th. And Jolty now trying to get past Fake Nutson. This is critical for Fake Nutson. He's trying to hold on, but he can't quite do it. Fake Nutson's going to go through, I think. They give each other racing room, and Jolty goes through. Wow, that was absolutely superb. Great fighting from Fake Nuts, and he couldn't hold on in the end. But what an overtake by Psycho. That was absolutely brilliant racecraft. He gets himself into 50s past his teammate, and he's going after Fake Nutson, who's in 4th. The two Alpines just running in 1st and 2nd, no issues for these. Having a great time with it. Psycho past Fake Nutson. And he is up into 4th place. Nice little dummy from Psycho. And Fake Nuts actually lets Russell Biffin go. And Jay Evans, the race leader, goes into the pits for the Alpine team. And Miles is doing the same, so they're double stacking. So Alpine have had a good showing tonight so far. But they're both in the pits now. Jolt leads the way. Psycho is up to 2nd. Russell Biffin will move up to 3rd. Fake Nutson, I think, is in the pits as well. He decided to pit a little bit earlier. Jay Evans is going to come out comfortably in 4th place. This is going to be close for 5th. Pushadino and the Doctor get themselves past and up into 5th and 6th. Miles in 7th. So this is a good haul of points for the Alpine drivers. And Harren Ali gets himself into 8th in the Red Bull. JDM up to 9th despite his lamenting of the controller. He's in the top 10. Fake Nutson gets him in the top 10 as well. So the race settles down just for a moment. Closest fight on track at the moment is between 5th and 6th, which is Pushadino. And the Doctor V1. I'm riding on board with the Doctor at the moment. Shortbread lamenting his internet connection issues, so he's out of the race. Bit of a frustrating evening for the Mercedes driver, the two-time Gavra racing champion. We hope to bounce back into Interlagos. The Doctor in the wheel tracks of Pushadino. Fake Nutson right behind JDM actually for 9th place. Here goes Fake Nutson then. He's going to go to the inside line. JDM not fighting this one. JDM braked very early, so Jay decided not to fight it. He wants the end. Yellow flag in sector 3. The Doctor's facing the wrong way. The Doctor has made a mistake. Looks like he just spun on the curb, unfortunately, for the Doctor. He loses the spot to Miles, and that's going to be hard to get past him now. That puts the Alpines again, another place gain, another point, 2 points. Of course, you know, Gavra Racing uses the official Formula 1 points in terms of 25 points for a win, which is what Jolty is currently trying to hang on for in front of Psycho, who would score 18 as it stands, but with an extra point for fastest lap. Let's have a look and see if he still has fastest lap. He does. Russell Biffin would get 15, Jay Evans would get 12, 10 for Pushadino, 8 for Miles, 6 for the Doctor, 4 for Harren Ali, 2 for Fake Nutson, and 1 point for JDM, who has got Geo just behind him. John Wick gets past Jackie on Franson for 12, although Jackie on Franson isn't giving that one up, and he dives straight back up the inside at turn 8. Great fighting between these two. Oh, look at this, it's brilliant. John Wick around the outside of the Mercedes. Jackie on Franson gets himself back into 12. But I'm going to concentrate on the fight for first place because Psycho's all over the back of Chelsea. Having just said that, though, he did make a mistake over the... It's going to relieve a little bit of the pressure for the Alpha Tauri driver. Jolty's still in the lead. Psycho is on for a brace of second places as it stands, but he's putting a big amount of pressure on Jolty, who knows he's there. It's the fastest lap of the race. But here comes Psycho. He's in the DRS zone. Jolty pulls over to the outside. Nice dummy from Psycho. He goes on the inside. They run each other off the road. And Psycho, I think, is going to give that one up. He does. That was the fighting act part one from Psycho. He just ran into the back of Jolty. Psycho knew he just run a little bit too deep, pushed the AlphaTauri wide. He couldn't keep that place, and he gave it back. Oh, Jolty has been given a 5-second penalty for corner cutting and gained a place. I think that one will be contested. Psycho pushed him off the road. If that's what the game has given him, I feel like that's going to be a win. If it stays as it is, I think Jolty will not be reprimanded by the stewards, and that will get taken off him. But I'm not the steward, so we'll soon find out. Sexify saying that's rigged. Oh, Psycho's hit the wall. Psycho hit the wall there. He had a little bit. Fake Knudsen has hit the wall. Fake Knudsen's out. And that's a safety car. Wow. What a time to get a safety car. Are the front three going to pit? John. Oh, he dummied away from. This is going to bring Jay Evans into the party. Because he's on the soft compound tyres. Pochettino is in 5th place on the medium compound. Miles in 6th. JDM's picked up a penalty. I think the only people who would probably want to pit at this point are, well, even then, with this being such a late stage in the race, whether it be worth it. Oh, and Billy Misu's now picked up a 5-second penalty for crossing the white line. Well. Fake Knudsen put it in the wall at turn 14. That's the right hand of the hairpin after the small DRS straight. Jay Evans will be rubbing his hands again because he's presented with a second opportunity. Again on the soft compound tyres as opposed to those on the mediums in front of him. Can he get a podium? Can he do what he couldn't before? John Wick has pitted. I was going to say before, the drivers who are on the hard compound tyres at the lower reaches of the field, they may as well pit. They're on 10-lap-old hard tyres. So that's John Wick, JDM, and Jackie on Prancin. There is going to be no DRS now until the end of the race. So that is one tool in the arsenal of the drivers that they're not going to be able to. And the safety car is in this lap. Well. So for John Wick, for JDM and Jackie on Frampton, they're going to be fighting for 10th place. For everybody else, it's game on. Will Gio be able to catch up to the back of the group? He's going to be, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll just catch up. Paranelli has just lost a place to the doctor. Okay, that's a bit awful. But it's Jolt who is in prime position. He's let the safety car go quite well. But he's got to make sure he not only saves his ERS, which he has done, he's also got to make sure that he doesn't go too early and then the game limits him. He's got to wait for the safety car to go into the pit lane. He's going so slowly, but he's right in the way to do that. When will he go? I'm watching on board with Psycho. He's not gone yet, has Jolt. He's still not gone. Now he goes. That was a great restart. He caught Psycho a little bit on a... So that's a good restart. Jolty leads the way. Jay Evans is still there. Sat in 4th place at the moment. Billy Misu is out. Oh, and Psycho's got a 3-second penalty. Well, now this has changed everything because that will technically mean on circuit as it stands, Russell Biffin's going to win. But we know because of the shenanigans that went on between Psycho and Jolty before that that's probably not going to be the case. So Jay Evans just has to stay where he is. Can he do it this time? Miles is in 6th place as well, so the Alpines are on for some great points. Oh, wow. Who is going to win this? This is going to be so close. Psycho will want to try and get past Jolty. Well, whether he will is another matter. He's had a little bit of a... And John Wick picks up a time penalty as well. So Jackie on Prancing, if he can stay within 3 seconds and take that point. Looks like he's lost a bit of time though. Jackie needs to stay up with them. This is it then. A lap and a quarter to go for the drivers. A lap and a half really. Psycho is right there on the back. You can see the AlphaTauri logo on the rear wing. Russell's lost a little bit of time. Jay Evans right there as well. Bushadino just holding on in 5th. He's got Miles behind him. They're going to have no more DRS, of course. Got to be 3 regulation green light flags, and that's not happened. So Jolt leads. Psycho doing everything he can to close the gap onto Jolty, but he's not got really any ERS to challenge him with. He's going to try his utmost though. He's got a little bit left, a little bit more than Jolty. Here we go then, in the slipstream with Psycho. Can he get close? It's fine. Psycho stays there. Not close enough. He's still all over the back. He's shaping for a move in the mirrors. Jolty is still in the lead. The tyres will have had a little bit of respite, of course, because of the safety car. They're happy to run to the end of the race. Jay Evans is right on the tail of Russell Biffin as well, but we're concentrating on these two. Psycho's not close enough. I don't think it's going to be Psycho's day. As it stands, the statue in Natalie sets the fastest lap of the race. It's not in the points, but it doesn't matter. He'll be happy with that. Couple of corners to go for Jolt as it stands. The yellow flag, I think someone's lost it at the back end. Jolt is going to cross the line in the lead. But at present, it's Russell Biffin who's winning this race. But that'll be debated in the steward's office, of course. Here we come then towards the final corner. Jolt J7 crosses the line first. Psycho in second, but it's going to be Russell Biffin who has the victory. Jay Evans is going to be second. Pushadino in third. Psycho fourth. Miles in fifth. The Doctor in sixth place. Jolt is going to be seventh thanks to the penalty. Gio in eighth. Haranali in ninth place. And John Wick is going to, I think, hold on for the last point here. JDM just, oh my days, where was JDM going over the final corner? Jackie gets 11th, JDM 12th. Statue and Natalie will be 13th. Shortbread has already seen the checkered flag. But it's Russell Biffin who's going to be race win. He finished third on track. But Russell is the winner for the Haas team. He'll be chuffed with that. I'm sure the stewards will have something to say about the incident between Jolt and Psycho, but that doesn't matter now because Russell Biffin is the winner. Jay Evans is going to be second, and fair play to Pushadino in third place after his issues earlier. Despite getting tagged round by the Doctor, he's ended up third, Psycho fourth, Miles round out the top five. Well, driver of the day goes to Gio. Good points result for McLaren as well there, but Gio get points, and I believe the Doctor also got points, so that's a very good day for them. So Russell Biffin celebrating on the podium there. He has the race victory at the moment. Whether the penalty for Jolt will be reversed, we'll soon find out in the stewards area, but I imagine it could go that way. But let's not detract it from Russell Biffin. He's had a very good race. He's got the win currently. Jay Evans in second place, a very good effort from him. He will get a podium regardless, will Jay Evans. Well done to him. Pushadino in third, like I say, good recovery drive from Pusher. Psycho fourth, Miles in fifth, the Doctor sixth, Jolt seventh. Gio coming up 7 places for 8th in the end. Harrenelli taking 2 points after qualifying inside top 10, so 2 points finishes for the Red Bull team today. Aston Martin get a point in the form of John Wick. Made up 8 places in the end, so that's a very good effort for John. 11th for Jackie on Franson, so close to getting a point. JDM in 12th. Stanchu and Natalie in 13th place. Shortbread was out of the race 2 laps down. Billy Misu retired. Fake Knutson retired. Betts retired. Joshy retired. And R. Peter did as well. A couple of crashes for those 5 drivers who were officially DNF. Shortbread is classified, of course, but he wasn't really in the race. But we will see what the stewards do. But for the time being, it is Russell Biffin on your screens, who is at the top of the leaderboard. So it's a first win of the season for the Haas team. And a good day for Alpine. 2 podiums in 2 races with a race win, with Miles 24 and Jay Evans getting the 2nd place. Pochadino getting the 1st podium for Red Bull this season. Wow, that was a wonderful set of races tonight from the Gavra Weekend League for the Tier 1 lobby. It's been very wonderful as always to commentate on. I do enjoy commentating on this league a lot. And we're coming to the end of the stream now. We will be back next week, of course, on Sunday at 5 o'clock British Standard Time. For those around Europe, either add or reduce an hour on your time deficit, of course. And for everybody else, do check everything out on the live stream in your local area. It'll be streamed, of course, on the Gavra Race Twitch channel, so do check it out. And you can always watch the live replay on YouTube on the official Gavra Racer YouTube channel too, which is always a good place. And do make sure you subscribe or follow, depending on which platform you watch this on. Additionally, as well as that, you've got the Gavra Racing website. Do check it out and join in with the Discord. Have a look at the chats and the community. Wonderful place to be. And check out the Hall of Fame section as well. That's very good of what Gavra has created here. Well, I've been Jack TM53 Synopsis, your commentator for tonight. Next week is Interlagos at Brazil for round 2. Can the drivers make some big fights and make some places up and make a wonderful set of races again? I'm sure they will, to be honest with you. But wherever you might be in the big wide world, have a good one. See you soon.
Cheers, Gav.